but it's the relationship among the parts that's a little different. In the United States, what's at the top are private capitalist enterprises, the big businesses that we all know run this society. Underneath them are the parties and the governments that they control. And then at the bottom, again, the mass of the working class. It's been the job of the politicians and the government to keep all this working. And they have done a middling job of that. That's why this country is descending and the Chinese are ascending. Their government at the top, party and government mobilizing, have proven themselves able to do things that the slightly different system, private enterprise on top, party government in the middle, mass of workers at the bottom, haven't been so successful at. Let me give you some examples because they're really important. Over the last 30 years, the Chinese system has grown much faster economically than the United States. 2 to 3 times faster. It's not even close. That's why the Chinese are now the only rival to the United States and the European Union, and becoming more powerful as a rival literally every month. So they've managed a faster economic growth. But that's not all. They've been better able to mobilize society to solve key social problems. One of them we're living through right now, the coronavirus pandemic. Look at the difference between the Chinese focus on closing down Wuhan and closing down the province of which Wuhan was a capital, really crunching down on this virus so it didn't spread, versus the United States, whose parties and government bicker and delay and stall and can't mobilize anything comparable, so that we have here in the United States 4% of the world's population and 25% of the world's corona cases and corona deaths. They've been better able to handle that kind of emergency with their system. And they've also been able to undertake enormous decisions, the likes of which we haven't. They committed themselves 20 years ago to develop their infrastructure, their roads, their highways, their trains, their cities, their apartment buildings. They have been so successful, they build in advance of the demand. They have whole cities fully equipped with transportation, buildings that are empty. These are not failures. These are intentional, making the materials available for the country to grow into. Extraordinary achievement. We don't have that. They committed themselves to become less dependent on world trade and more focused on their own domestic economy. And they've made enormous strides. And they wanted to focus their energies to not be destroyed by the crash of 2008 and then again by the crash of 2020. And they have gotten through those economic crashes better again than the United States.